Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Cheerlux C6. This is a mini LED projector which sells on Amazon for sub $70. It's pretty inexpensive, competes with the likes of other DB Power and other fairly generic Shenzhen-based projectors, and it's low cost. It can be a good solution if you're on a budget but you want to watch a few videos with friends and family. Has an HDMI port and traditional analog ports as well, and it doesn't have any smart components in the sense it isn't an Android projector. It's not a a Pico projector either, but it does work fairly well for the price. So here is what the packaging looks like. A few details on the sides. There is adjustable, kind of lens. The native resolution at 800 by 480 is a little low, but the overall quality is decent enough, I'd say, once you have it at a far enough distance from the wall. So in here, there's access to the projector itself. We'll take a closer look at the design in a moment. There's also a quick user guide that tells you how to set things up, in addition to a controller that tells you how to power it on. It uses a traditional AA battery, which is not included. And there's also a provided kind of analog cable to RGB if you don't want to use HDMI or VGA. Finally, there's just the mini speaker or the mini projector itself, along with a kind of arm, which allows you to pop it up on the bottom and set it at an angle for elevating the video watching experience. So if we take this out and take a quick look at the design of the C6, you can see that it actually is a fairly sleek looking, I'd say, mini projector to give you a sense of size. Here is a 5-inch phone, so you can see next to it, this is what it looks like, so not too large. Otherwise, there is a power key on the top here, along with an infrared port for the remote. Kind of interesting placement on the very top, so if you have it mounted on the wall or something, it's a little bit more difficult to get the sensor matched up. But on the surface here, there's a Cheerlux logo. There's a lens cap for protecting the lens there that you can adjust. Ventilation grills, because there are fans that will kick in once it's turned on, so there is a bit of background noise, unlike a Pico projector, which is silent. But on the back, there's access to a TV signal input, so you can use it for an antenna and kind of replacing a television set if you want to. There's also a USB port, so if you have it loaded up with a few MP4 clips or MP3 songs, there is a slight, very light built-in operating system that can read that back and play it back without the use of a third-party laptop or smartphone. Finally, there's a full-size HDMI port, but there's no cable provided. 3.5mm jack if you don't want to use the built-in speakers, which is a little bit on the lower side of the volume and a bit more tinny, so you can plug in your own if you want. AV cable with the provided RGB. Secondary IR ports, there's 2 of those. There's also a VGA port here, as well as a power switch and a traditional kind of power lead as well. So you just plug that into the wall. And the bottom here just features a simple mechanism also for tilting and changing kind of the angle of the lens on the top there. The bottom just features very simple specs. There's rubber feet, which prevents the projector from sliding around on a surface or a desk, and that's basically it. So a very clean, very simple presentation. We're going to plug this into the wall and show you guys a bit of how it looks like once it's turned on and showing a few images. So here we have everything plugged in, and you can see that this is what the projector is like in a bright environment. So it's a little dim and hard to see. Right now it's projected at a distance where I would say the screen size is roughly maybe 40 inches, 35 to 40 inches. And so it's not too far from the wall, but you can see that the resolution here is decent. It's definitely a little bit pixelated. You can definitely tell that there's a bit of kind of some distortion on the edges. But again, this is really a budget projector, really meant just for quick presentations, quick videos with friends and family. And what you can really hear here is that there is a bit of fan noise. So that's going to definitely take up a bit of sound. So if you have a silent presentation, that is going to be what the experience is like. But if you do play back a video clip, it definitely drowns out that background sound. Otherwise, once you have it kind of connected, you do have the ability to use it as kind of, again, a flash drive reader or a USB reader, and this is what the menu will look like. It allows you to navigate through your photos, your videos, as well as songs and text documents, and kind of project it onto the wall. And you do have to do this process manually. It doesn't automatically search through what input source is on there. You have to go one by one using the remote to find what's being connected before you can actually do that. So even if the projector has a flash drive that's been inserted, it's not going to find that source automatically. You have to use the remote. Otherwise, the image quality and video quality, again, very comparable to other projectors we've seen, so not too much to write home about, but also decent enough for this price point, I'd say. Now we have a virtual screen size of about 50 to 60 inches projected onto just a traditional wall. If you have a presentation board or maybe some professional screens, that might improve the image quality even more. And this is an afternoon, so there's some slight light in the background. It's not completely dark. That's where the projector truly shines, but you can still see it's very legible. Text is readable. You can adjust the focus pretty easily. Let's try doing that actually now. You can see it gets a bit more focus, less in focus, and then you can save it at the point that you want. You can also adjust the tilt and the angle as we talked about. Overall, not bad for a mini projector. It seems to do a decent job, especially if you're watching video clips. It does have a slight amount of pixelation. If you zoom all the way in, you'll notice that, but I think that's a common theme for most low-end projectors that we've encountered. To have a truly HD projector, that would require, again, much more in terms of the cost to produce it, but all in all, not bad, especially if you zoom all the way out. You won't really notice it. If you are watching videos projected at, let's say, a 100-inch screen, of course, the image quality will continuously decrease in terms of the resolution, the pixelation, and also the brightness will decrease as well. But overall, not bad. Let's play back the video now. Let's skip ahead.
The front also features a 5-megapixel sensor for selfies, and in terms of being said, I would have preferred if these speakers and
So there you go. That's a quick, I guess, sample of how the audio sounds like. So overall, it's not bad. It's, again, a little bit quiet and a little bit tinny for our tastes, but it does the trick for a quick presentation if you have some sound clips or sound effects on board. For watching movies and videos, again, we would recommend plugging in your own pair of speakers or headphones. You can see that colors are slightly on the warmer side of the spectrum. They're a little bit washed out and white looking, but again, not too bad if you're just enjoying some quick clips or doing some presentations, and text is definitely legible. So overall, I would say a decent image quality experience.
About the Cheerlux C6 in our official written review, which is coming out soon. But for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.